Hi Jürgen, hope you're well. I just wanted to start with, first of all, the German government obviously informing Leipzig that there will be no exception for Liverpool to travel over for the first leg of the Champions League game. What do you see now as the ideal solution to make sure your away leg is played?
That's not my job, to be honest. Our people are working together with UEFA, with Leipzig, I guess, and we find out where we'll play the game. So it's not our decision. Well, nobody from Germany called me and asked me how is the situation in England. It's a general decision, obviously, about traveling from England. I think with all the stuff we are doing here, the record we have with cases, the discipline we show with all the stuff we do, I think it would be absolutely reasonable to make an exemption. But I don't know exactly who decides it in the German government, but they said so far not possible. But maybe it's good to see for German people who are not exactly in the subject. We are not infected. We have the same problems like you have. We know there's another strain, but we are really in a bubble, and we could play at Leipzig as well without spreading the virus. Just to say that at least once, because it's how it always was in that time. The rules are the rules, and we will accept them. So I don't know where we play.
Obviously, big game this weekend. Just on availability of players, has Kabak's international clearance come through? Is he ready to go straight in? How's Alisson and Fabinho and Mane? Any chance of playing?
International clearance, yes, is the answer.
International clearance, yes. And obviously, in the last few minutes, because 10 minutes ago, nobody told me that. Great. And then all three boys. So Ali feels much better, good enough to have an individual session today. And Sadio and Fab will be in parts of training today, team training, and then we will see.
And would you say Kabak was ready to go straight in such a big game?
I don't know. It's about our situation. We will see who can play again, who cannot, who should not play again, or should play again. All these kind of things, and then we will see. So in the ideal world, you have a few weeks and work together on defensive things, especially on organization, all these kind of things. The boys now, Ben and Ozan had yesterday an analyze meeting where they trained, but they had an analyze meeting where they got shown all the stuff we do usually, like a center half movie. And so today proper session, tomorrow proper session, and we will see. It's I don't know yet.
I'm sure you were expecting me to ask about the title race, but obviously after Wednesday night, Andy Robertson said, as this moment stands, we're not in the title race. We're 7 points behind them, and they have a game in hand. But how would a win change that perspective this weekend?
So after 2 years now, getting this question all the time, when we were close enough that it might have made some sense, I just don't see it in a moment. Look, you have to win football games. If you do that often enough, then there's a specific moment in the season when it's clear. Okay, now we go for it. We were in the last 2 years in that situation. In the moment, we are not. So why should we think about it? What we have to think about, collecting enough points that it might happen in April, May again. But I don't know yet. So why should we only think about it? We only think about it because we got asked, but it's not important. It's not what drives you, what gets up every morning or drives us through the day. Without being so close to City or whoever is top of the table that we don't like football and we think that it's not worth working or whatever. That's not the case. We really try hard in a very, very tricky season. And we will continue trying 100%, and Sunday the next time.
Brilliant. Okay, we're going to go to Simon Crabtree, PLP, for a couple. Simon.
Thanks, Jackie. Hi, Jürgen. Are you okay? Just a quick one, first of all.
Sorry, who's Jackie?
I thought you were Jackie Weaver. Sorry.
No. Oh, God.
Sorry.
Don't ask. Go on.
Don't.
Okay.
That's why I left it. Anyway, Jürgen, as far as fatigue is concerned, you mentioned the mental fatigue bit after the end of it as well. And I know Pep has spoken a little bit or touched upon the physical fatigue of things as well. And his team are apparently running less a lot this season than they were. And that's obviously paying dividends. So in terms of all that process, what do you need to do, or what can you do?
Playing football, recover, train, recover, all that stuff. Using each single minute each day you can get to recover. That's how it is. And the more you keep the ball, the lesser you have to run, probably. That's the truth. And yeah, we have difference. That's just, we didn't have a break. I think City had a 2-week break for COVID reasons, and that all it's really tough. It's a tough year. It's a tough season. I know for some teams it looks like lesser, but for us, obviously, for the reasons you know, it's tough. And that's why I said when I spoke, it's actually the first time that I felt that way. But after a week with twice traveling to London, playing 2 intense games, 2 really good games, I don't think we run too much in these games. I don't think we run exactly as much as we had to win the game. And then we came back and faced a Brighton team who had a good idea, and we were not ready in that moment. Obviously, the boys wanted, but couldn't. And if they couldn't, then you see that. Then there are two possible reasons. They don't want. I can say that's not the case, or they can't. So if that's the case, you have to think why they couldn't. And that was the thing what I was talking about after the game, and that's all. And now we have another 4 days, and things are different and stuff like this. So we had twice the short end of the week, like 2 days in between the games. So that's really short. With the travel, that's no excuse. It's just an explanation. And for that game, we were not fresh enough. That's it.
There's some odd anomalies this season with away wins. I don't know whether you're. It's over 40% this season of being away wins, which would be the highest ever in the Premier League if it was to continue than that. And there's only been, I think, one in the last 24 meetings between you and Manchester City that's actually been an away win as well. So how do you get, given the fact that you've not won at Anfield, or you've lost the last 2 at Anfield, how do you get the magic back to make sure that run, the away wins don't suddenly change here?
Yeah. By playing really good football. It's not that I can say now, and boys, come on, don't forget, everybody knows it's Anfield. We love playing there. Still, we love playing there. It's a great place, the best place we can imagine. So it's all good. But we didn't win the last 2 games. I know that. But we were not interested in winning 68 in a row. So why we should now make the games we didn't win bigger than it is? I don't think I could sit here when we lost 68 in a row or something like that. That would be a real sensation. So it's all about trying again. It's all about being positive, enjoying football, all these kind of things. It's and make it a fortress again. That's how it is. But it will not happen in a press conference with what I would say here. I'm not 10% in the mood to speak about anything. I would talk to my players, because when I'm with them, I'm with 100%. They're here. It's still like paid holiday, so they cannot win the game here. I cannot lose the game here. The only thing I have to do is answer questions, and that's what I do, but not about what I'm telling my players.
Thank you, Simon. Appreciate it. We go to Carl Markham, and then after that we've got Kieran, who I think is from AFP, and then Ellie from Perform. But Carl next.
Hey,
Hi.
You've spoken of physical fatigue and how you just have to rest and recover and train again. But with the mental side of it, how do you tackle that? I mean, do you have...
Don't make it, Carl. Don't make it bigger than it is. I meant actually the fatigue. It's just. Look, I'm really, that's a real problem now, but because English and stuff like this, it's nothing to do with mental health, hopefully. So when I spoke about we were not fresh enough, and fresh has 2 aspects, it's here and there, so legs and mind as well. So that's what I wanted to say, no issues, no real issues or whatever. It just was intense, it looked heavy in moments, the passing was not as hard, as clinical as it should have been, and these kind of things. So why should that happen? The reason for it, because we're not ready, not fresh enough. That's much more. It's not a mental. So how I said, I was not happy with using the word, but I just wanted to make sure that's not only the legs. There are other things as well. Because, again, Go through that week. It's not, and we have to prove that we can get freshness back and all these kind of things. We will. But for that moment, we didn't have enough time, obviously, because everybody could see it then on the pitch.
In that case, does a game against City, always help, kickstart that again? In terms of your biggest rivals.
That's the plan. That's the plan. Good plan, huh?
Yeah, good plan. Yeah.
Thank you.
Are you expanding on that, Carl, or is that you?
I think that's me. Yeah.
Thank
Thanks.
you.
Cheers, Jürgen.
Okay, we go to Kieran Canning from AFP. Kieran.
Hi, Jürgen.
Hi.
I just wondering, Ruben Diaz has made a massive impact at City this season in terms of their record defensively. I'm just wondering, do you see any parallels with the difference that he's made with how Virgil helped you?
Wow, that's really harsh one, huh? So you talk about a centre half. That's not nice. Yes, he had obviously impact. He was a good player. Come on, City's a good team. To be honest, it's a really good team. They were always, but they, good business, absolutely. Do I compare with Virgil? You can compare it with Virgil. I don't know Ruben good enough. So Virgil is an outstanding football player, and I know him as a person. So, and the package makes for me the difference. I don't know anything about Ruben Diaz. I'm sure he's a nice fella, but I don't know it.
Okay, thank you, Kieran. And then to finish with Ellie, and then if the guys for the breakout can start putting their hands up, that'd be great. But Ellie, to finish our our open section of the press conference.
Thank you. Hi, Jürgen.
Hi.
Ilkay Gundogan is in incredible form for City at the moment, and he's obviously a player you know really well from your time at Dortmund. What qualities do you think make him a special player, and are you slightly surprised at his current form and all the goals he's scoring at the moment?
Not at all. Goal scoring, maybe a little bit. The rest not. Ilkay was one of the best players I ever coached when he was a very young player, when he came to us from Nuremberg to Dortmund, and especially in the 2012 season, he was unbelievable and played pretty much like he's playing now. Then he had, unfortunately, some injuries, really tough injuries. But that's not all sorted, and that's the longest period he can play football without getting interrupted. And I wish him really well that can continue like this. That's the only reason. He was always that player, and when experience then, and when you are smart and experience comes then into place as well, then it's another jump, obviously, on your performance level. And I'm not surprised at all.
Okay, terrific. Thank you, everyone. That's the end of the open section. So just bear with me.